based on something from the old Captain Planet cartoon. Is that there is this villain called Captain Pollution, which was created when one of the bad guys made evil imitations of all of the rings that were used to create Captain Planet. I don't want to go that. No, no, no. Actually, wait. That is at least in the right quadrant. Anyway. Hmm. So each of them wields a elemental effect. What that is not something that you find on a traditional table of the elements because the Planeteers have something akin to a traditional table of the elements: earth, fire, wind, water, heart. Well, the evil versions are deforestation, super radiation, smog, toxics, hatred. So, my challenge that I gave myself for this character was make a ground team where I can come up with a way of having my captain's abilities and each of my bridge officers themed on one of those five things. Mm. So, let's take a look. My captain ended up getting deforestation. Well, for that one, I used the agony field generator because it's this giant bubble that kills everything it touches, or badly damages, anyways. I'm going to go over the bridge officers as soon as I get on the ground. Now, radiation in Star Trek Online isn't actually particularly hard. I had a little bit of fun with that one because I used an episode reward item that's got an unusual weapon model because of the way that it resembles the way super radiation. Well, it resembles the way radiation beam attacks were rendered in Captain Planet. Okay, so oh yeah, also I wrote into the bios wields the power of toxics, super radiation. Yeah, it's the Vorgon Tetrian prism. Here, I'll show you what that looks like quick, just for the fun. See, you're holding a rather small thing in your hand. Why is it refusing to let me fire? That's not normal. Oh, my mic being quiet. I keep having that problem. I haven't figured out what it is yet. I don't remember. Because, like, I actually turned up my microphone in max. However, it's still telling me that it's registering as 0 decibels in the Streamlabs. And I'm like, huh? I don't get that. I guess if I just talk louder, that'll help. But I really need to go through my system settings and figure out why the microphone is so quiet because it doesn't logically make sense. Because Streamlabs is getting my microphone more quiet than when I do a desktop capture to record a YouTube video. Turn my stream output up. Hmm. I'm really not sure how to do that. Open advanced audio settings. Okay, those are the source settings. Global settings. Dum dum dum. Um, yeah, global settings doesn't have an option for output volume. Hmm. I don't get this whole thing. Really don't. Dum dum dum. Let's see here. Properties of the microphone. Hmm. I don't get this. Ugh. I don't know. Anyways, so for whatever reason, the Vorgon Tetrian Prism is not allowing me to fire it while in Starfleet Academy. That makes no sense. Yeah, it's not letting me fire the electric pulse gun either. Why the heck not? Okay, I'm going to switch to my ship bridge just to see what happens if I do this on my bridge. No, no. Here's the thing, Cliff. Uh, Starfleet Academy is special because of the fact that uh, the Starfleet Academy event requires combat. Um, sure, whatever. Just send me a whisper. I'll tinker with it off stream because I suddenly remembered after you mentioned the audio being quiet that I was planning on working on that off stream. Like, see, look, see, I can just fire the gun on my bridge. Anyways, it's actually the wrong color, but the emanation point it uses is almost spot on because it looks like it's coming out of your finger almost. Anyways, so I decided that this has a proper aesthetic for radiation beam, even though it's not actually the radiation damage type. Who cares about that? We're going for aesthetics here. In terms of radiation damage, skills. She has hyperonic radiation, which, hey, that's radiation. She also has some healing abilities and seismic agitation field, which doesn't really kind of fully fit with the radiation theme, but mm, there's actually surprisingly small number of radiation abilities that you can actually give to bridge officers. A lot of the better ones are captain only. Hey, Sav, how are you doing? Okay, so that is radiation. Oh, also, I decided to give her that Lucari wrist probe thingy because I thought it would look well. Also, it's like when you're firing the radiation crystal, the emanation point is pretty close to the end of the tendril thingy. I figured I was going to do another stream about bridge officers because I enjoyed the one from last time, and people actually seem to like watching it. So hey, okay, so this guy. Oh yeah, traits. I didn't look at the traits. She has leadership, which okay, but she has three things that are actually good traits for ground. Like this one, increased exploit damage for team is one of the few default bridge officer traits that's actually a team buff. This is actually just a personal buff. And bridge officers aren't actually all that good at using exploit or flank abilities, so yeah, it's not that great. Honestly, a lot of bridge officer traits are nearly useless. If I don't know that there's a superior leadership trait. If there is, that would be interesting. Also, I'm genuinely not sure if this stacks. That's one of the things I really should test sometime. Anyways, though, so this is an episode reward thing that is old as dirt and something that I acquired so that I could, because I played the episode and then just left it on my bridge officer and then just for a lark decided to see what would happen if I upgraded it to Mark 15. It's old. It has things that aren't really the best stats. But hey, you know what? A Mark 15 shield that you're giving to one of your bridge officers, it works. In case you're wondering, this is a reward item that you get from one of the Davidian featured episode missions. Yeah, psionic damage resistance on a shield. Because Davidians do psionic damage that bypasses shielding. Alrighty then. So, this guy. He actually has a two-piece version of the Nakul set. Yes, the part of the Nakul set that a lot of people like to use on their captain. I'm using something else. Oh yeah, also, fitting in with the Devastation theme is part of the reason why I'm using an electrical pulse wave. The Sompek pulse wave just fits with the whole thing because, like, lightning hitting trees and destroying them, you know. Also, the scattering field on this actually hurts. Yeah, inductive scattering does almost as much damage as the attack itself does. And it's a splash damage effect. Fun stuff. Anyways, moving back on. Okay, so this guy's traits are actually pretty good. Superior peak health. Hey, Tazhos. Limited telepathy is something defensive, which means that I don't need to worry about the AI using it wrong. It just happens when it's appropriate. Hypermetabolism uh, makes him slightly harder to kill. That's good. Creative makes his kit stuff do more damage. Also good. This one, I set him up using mostly a mix of command and some of the basic engineer abilities. One thing I really, really wish you could do with bridge officers is give bridge officers the Romulan plasma flamethrower turret variation. But that's a captain only ability. Why that's, well, Urges was the guy who has Smog. So I decided I needed clouds of toxic gas. Well, part of that, I decided to give him a polytrinic acid horta. Oh, yeah. Space Empires is something that you won't see a whole lot because it wasn't a particularly popular game series back when it came out. At least, you know, when you look at the overall sales numbers, there's a bunch of people that like it, but it just didn't have mass appeal, I guess you could say. And it's a 15-year-old game series. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, so one of the reasons why I gave him the not cool gear is because the secondary fire is a toxin wave, which power of smog. It does look like you're spraying people with smog. He has Rin armor because I didn't feel like going to the time and effort of getting all three pieces of the not cool set. I think I genuinely don't remember if I have the other one. Yeah, I don't see it on my other bridge officers, so probably don't have it. Okay. So, Shalana, power of toxics. Um, I just happen to have one of these laying around. Two-piece Jim Hadar. This is actually pretty hefty defensively, unless people engage you with melee because the armor doesn't have any physical damage resistance. If it's plasma blade melee, you're fine, but actual physical melee, it's a strange thing because it gives you bonus physical damage if you are using melee, but you have no physical damage resistance with this armor. The regen on this is utterly insane, and it has a shield regen mod too. Those are pretty nice, as long as you're not taking physical damage. Oh, and the shield has a energy damage resistance. Anyway, so her skills: graviton spike, corrosive grenade, and some of the temporal abilities that look kind of sort of like clouds of stuff because she got toxics. And these are useful but not amazing. Oh, Fury is an interesting one because if she actually does start taking damage, it actually causes her attack damage to go up. Which, again, it's not something the AI needs to think about, so it actually gets used properly. This is about the only thing that she does. This actually does toxic damage, though, so that's nice. And to be honest, as grenades go, corrosive grenade is not one of the worst ones. I actually did a video once comparing the different specialty grenades in the game and why most of them are things people don't really care about. But giving her graviton spike mixed with grenades, chronometric diffusion, and paradox bomb, yeah, that was adequately neat. Okay, 6 of 9. I had to give at least one of my bridge officers a mortar because graviton spike mixed with mortars is just insane. Oh yeah, also 6 of 9 gets hatred. So what can I give a bridge officer that just oozes the concept of hatred? The old Borg maintenance drone, a prosthetic arm. Why does this hatred? This is an episode of reward item from the old days that has a special weapon function. Borg Shield Neutralizer. Yeah, this is that thing that the Borg will hit you with in ground combat that causes your shields to be functionally offline. Well, I gave it to one of my bridge officers so that she can zap enemies with it. Sounds adequately mean. Traits, yeah, she has a space trait, but um, resilient, yeah, it's a small amount of bonus damage resistance rating. It's really not a big deal compared to the amount of damage resistance you get from armor. Superior Borg nanites, though, this is. I'm not entirely sure if this tooltip is right. Plus 0.15 health regeneration is equivalent to 15% on armor. It's not going to show you her actual stats unless I go to a ground zone where she's actually summoned. Which, honestly, to get that at level 65, doing a story mission is the best way because I can't think of any of the battlefield ground zones that are actually scaled to 65. They're like 50 or 62 or something weird like that. So, skills. Shock and Awe, it's a fun command ability. Strategic Analysis, also a fun command ability. Photon Mortar Fabrication. Again, I needed a mortar. And this is actually a pretty good one. It's this very weird thing with the 23rd century stuff because most of it is just slightly rethemed versions of things. Except the mortars. Photon mortars are not the same thing that you normally have as engineer turret abilities. I need to find one of those. Nope. Nope. Yeah, quantum mortar is a completely different ability. In some ways, it's similar in that it creates a turret. The turret fires at enemies, but if you look at the damage stats on this, that's not the same thing. It takes a total of 2.5 seconds to place one, 20-second recharge, and the mortar does a 500-ish kinetic damage splash every 6 seconds. Also, this has a range of 40 meters and completely bypasses walls and ceilings. Part of the reason why I like having these in builds is the fact that having a bridge officer place one of these will kill those annoying enemies that glitch through walls. Here's the thing. Notice how this does 50% more damage and fires once every 4 seconds? Yeah, that's because this is Photon Mortar 3, not Photon Mortar 1. I was comparing it to Quantum Mortar 1. You can use this more often, and because of the fact that it's a rank 3 ability, you can get more damage out of it too. How do you get these? You have to go to one of your fleet holdings. It's a really cool ability, but you have to get it off of fleet holding. It's less interesting when you use the captain version of this because the captain version of it works a lot more like a quantum mortar does. I do think it has a faster fire rate than a quantum mortar, though. Also, harmonic lure. This is one of those things that's just mean. Giving your bridge officer the ability to summon a bunch of Herc bugs to run around and try to rip your enemies to pieces. Yes, it says 90 damage when they attack. Well, there's four of them. And your bridge officer will summon a group of them every time this is off cooldown. Really helps with crowd control on ground, honestly. Because the Herc bugs will go after anything that's close to them. Anyway, though. So that, oh yeah, what was the ground thing I have? Oh yeah, the other thing. I gave her neutronium armor because of the fact that she has an inherent racial ability that gives her regeneration. So giving her a really, really tough armor so that her inherent regeneration can heal her seemed like a good idea. Also, Davida does have a heal, so oh yeah, I had fun with the Borg prosthetics mixed in with Lucari stuff. It was fun. Mm. All right, so let's switch to a different character. Oh wait, that's right. I forgot. I had a reason why I went to Starfleet Academy other than just looking at ground stats. I'm going to do the Universal Endeavor while I'm here. Oh yeah. So, did anyone have any requests on bridge officer themes that they wanted to see me try building on a bridge officer? Ah, well. Well, I guess I'll wait and see if someone thinks of that. Because if someone does, great. If not, whatever. Okay, so Karnland, I did his last time. I did one of these. I'll go with second.